So today's video, I'm actually going to be interviewing one of my clients that came from YouTube just like you, and we're going to go over where they were moving from, what areas they looked at, and what community they ultimately decided on having as their new retirement home. So stay tuned for today's video, guys. This is going to be a great one, and it's going to really give you perspective of what someone goes through when they are doing that whole relocation, selling one home, buying another, and we will go over their process with you and how they chose the home that they have. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at EXP Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate. So we're getting ready to go in here, but if this is your first time to the channel, I want to introduce myself. I'm Kelley Norton. I'm known as the AZ Realty lady, but also I'm the owner of the Arizona Living Group, and I'm an associate broker here at EXP Realty. And my team and I help people that relocate to the Phoenix area. Maybe you already live here, or maybe you're coming from out of state or out of the country. This is what we specialize in, and we are happy to help you. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, just give us a call. You can call, text, or contact us on our website, and we'd be happy to help you. So guys, let's go ahead and meet the Moxons. They have moved here recently, just in the past couple months, and they're going to go over with you what it was like making the move from a different state, which they'll disclose to you where that was from, and they'll tell you ultimately what neighborhood they decided on. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, guys, subscribe and click that little bell, and you'll be notified when we put up new videos. Let's take a look. So as promised, I am here with a couple that has moved and retired officially. So I want to introduce you to Dale and Teresa Moxon. So you can say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, these are not paid actors, guys. These are...
We aren't?
Yeah, right? Oh, shh, shh. So these are clients that found me on YouTube just like you, and we're going to talk about the relocation experience that they had, why they decided to move to Arizona, and what community ultimately they decided to land in and call home. And we're in the beautiful home now that Teresa has decorated, or should I say Dale too?
No.
No. Exactly, it's all her. Beautiful home. So let's start with where you guys were moving from.
Teresa.
We came from Colorado, and I guess just kind of briefly, back in, I think it was like January, that I met my friend in Colorado for coffee, and we sat down and we were all getting ready to retire, and we thought Arizona would be a nice place to come to. She was pondering Florida, and we said hard no to that.
Yep.
And so we just landed here.
In Vistancia.
Yes, they're in Vistancia. So let's talk a little bit about why would you not retire in Colorado?
So I think first and foremost is in order to downsize in Colorado, we're paying more money to get a smaller property. Yeah. And so the cost of living has significantly increased. And the fact that there are not that many 55 plus properties there. There was one by our house that was nice, but it was still very expensive, and it just didn't feel right. No. And it still snows there.
Right.
And it doesn't have this landscape, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's very plain at the 55 plus in Colorado.
Yeah, you said a lot of the Colorado is like brown.
Well,
majority. I mean,
and it's funny because a lot of people think Arizona is brown, but then when they actually get here, they realize that when you're inside some of these communities, that's a totally different case.
Right.
Yes.
Right, which is clearly why we picked Trilogy and Vistancia all together, just because, we toured Victory at Verrado, and that was nice, and it's just a much more desert landscape, and to us it was like, yes, we love the desert. We've been coming to Arizona for many years, but for us, when we came in here, I grew up in Southern California, and this just felt much more like a kind of that California vibe, I would say. And plus, it's just all the trees, the shade, it just feels so, like, I don't know, it's just luxurious.
Yeah.
It feels cooler too. I mean, I feel like when I see all the
more grass you have, the cooler it is, and it's real grass.
Yes. I mean, in the community, it's like every time we drive in, it's like the beautiful huge palm trees and I mean, it does really feel, and I've heard that from other people, but it does feel like you're driving into a resort every day.
It does.
And it's pretty fancy.
And now for the viewers, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, or you're not sure where Verrado is, Victory at Verrado, which is the 55 plus community in Verrado, or where Vistancia is, which we are in Trilogy at Vistancia, which is the active adult 55 plus community here in Vistancia. We are in Peoria, and then Victory at Verrado is in Buckeye. So we're about 35, 40 minutes difference from one place to the other. Now here you see mountains when you go shopping, you have them around, but you're not staring at all desert, cactus, dry landscape. In Victory, you have huge soaring mountains right in your community, but you don't have that green lush feel like you have in Trilogy.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just a different feel. You also do not have a guard gate or a gate period over there, where here you have guard gated access to the community.
Well, and when Dale and I talked about that, when we were looking and we thought, well, and you know, some of the YouTube videos on Victory, and we're like, oh, gated isn't really that important to us. And now that we're here, it's like, I don't know what we would do if we didn't. It's
Right.
so amazing, just because, like the traffic, I know it's quiet now because not everybody's, you know, here.
They're starting to come
But
back.
They are, yeah.
We've noticed.
But
Yes.
it's I don't know, there's just like a nice, it just feels so much more safe, and it's quiet, and like I feel like Halloween, it won't.
You won't have all the trick-or-treaters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they are,
If you wanna
unless they're
find them, you can
55 and
find
over.
them, but
yes.
but they don't have to find you. Yes.
Right.
We get it. We understand that. So tell me about amenities, one versus the other. Was that something that was important to you, or was it really just the feel?
I would say the amenities, having 2 clubhouses, having the Kiva, the Mita. There are 2 different types of clubs.
Right.
And then also having the golf course
Well, and
is a huge factor for me.
And I think too, well, they have the golf course there, but I feel like here, the fact that to me, it's like it's flat. Like at Victory, that's a hike. If you don't have a golf cart, that's a hike. You're in your car. But for us here, you can jump on your bike. You could go to to the workout classes, and I don't know, it just feels so much, much more convenient. And the other thing too, we have our grandkids, and they're sticklers at Victory about the pool, like never anyone under 18. And here, they're super flexible. I mean, it's 10 to 2.
Hours.
It's 10 to 2 p.m. Every day that you can bring them. So for us, that was kind of a big deal. Like, I don't want to not be able to take them over there. So.
Right. And at Victory, you have access to the Verrado Clubhouse. But when you're in an active adult area, you don't want to go to a chaotic, fully, it's kind of crazy. So some people, that's great and that works for them, but others, they don't want to have to go where there's literally like hundreds of people to take your grandkids to swim. And so in these communities where you have certain hours, it's not super crazy. It's like kind of like, it almost feels a little more like backyard style rather than being at a swim park.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're really good about the rules. I mean, they don't allow like all the big rafts. So it's not like if you go there and someone else has their grandkids that it's going to be this big, huge splashing, mess going on. So they're pretty good about that. Like they do have rules, but at least they allow it, and so we're happy about that.
Perfect.
Why are you looking at me like that?
She says, we're happy about that, right, Dale?
Right.
We
right?
We're
So quick question on the differences that you noticed. I do videos on, Mita Club versus Kiva Club, and we've shown the different areas. But from someone who was looking and now lives here, what is your perspective on the 2 different clubhouses and likes or dislikes about one area versus the other?
So I think you remember when we were looking, I was sort of really focusing on the Kiva side.
Yes.
And then finding that the homes are obviously newer on the Mita side. And now we're like thinking, I don't know, I mean, the workout classes, they have an amazing studio over there they're called the Momentum Studio. It's just, I don't know, I feel like it's a much younger vibe too. I feel like we've gone to the happy hours over at the Kiva Club, and maybe it's just that because the people have been there longer that everybody has been very nice. There's no question. But I feel like maybe it's a little bit more here that everybody's newer and
The homes are newer too. Yeah, I mean the homes here, I mean they only stopped building homes 2 to 3 years ago. I think there was one I even saw that was under 2 years. It was like one of the last houses. Maybe it was one of the model homes. But for the most part, I mean, you could get homes in here 4 to 6 years old. I mean, 7 years old. They're definitely newer, and they have a completely different feel on the architecture too, from this side over to the Kiva side.
And even like the landscape, which is definitely much more mature over there because it's been there longer. But here it seems to be maybe just tidier.
Yes.
And like I feel like
It's
the
clean.
streets, everything feels so clean and it's beautiful.
It's fresh and new.
Yes.
It's nothing's overgrown. While they still take really good care of that side, it still just has that little bit more mature style. So.
And so Dale, how has your experience been with like meeting people? Do you feel like you're forced to meet people, or is it just natural? What is the social scene like?
It's just natural. I mean, everybody's so friendly, which we've met some really nice people. All the neighbors that live around here, they're a lot of them have lived in Colorado. So
yeah, isn't that interesting how you'll just find people that are like, that's where I'm from. Oh my gosh, yeah, we were born in the same city. I've heard people tell me those stories all the time, how it's a small world.
But no, I think it's easy to meet people, meeting people in the club. We've met people that lived right by us in Colorado, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Dale met more people while we were moving in and unpacking the garage. So all the neighbors came and introduced themselves, and then he's like, I just met some more new neighbors, but I don't remember their names.
I know, that can be
like,
tough.
run inside and write it down.
Yes.
So.
No, I started putting it on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's been.
We always name people by their dogs. I can remember the dogs' names, and I cannot remember people's names. So I'll meet people, and I'm like, it's
You're Finley's parents.
Yeah, exactly, Finley's parents. Yeah, that's how I remember when I'm out. So we're filming right now, and Finley, as we say his name, is actually jumping up on our videographer. Finley. So it's kind of funny. That's why we all looked that way. It's again, we leave in all the real stuff in our videos. So. But that's
pretty cute.
Assistant. He's a good assistant. He's the production assistant today. It's pretty cute. So you guys have pets. So you have 2 dogs. So do you feel comfortable having pets in the neighborhood? Do other people have pets? A lot of my clients have pets, and they say, I want a pet-friendly community. Are you finding that here?
Oh yeah, totally. And I think a lot of the neighbors have their pets because we see them out walking, and then here we've got the separate little dog parks and there's literally one like at the end of almost every street.
Yeah.
And it's a grassy area, so they can get their fix on some real grass under their feet.
Right.
But yeah, but it's still it's been very quiet. They're learning to like the pool.
Yes. Do they go in on the step or jump in or just
they go
kind
in
of afraid
with
of it?
assistance, but they don't hate it.
That sounds like with Teak. So my dog's name is Teak, the smaller one, and we'll put him in, and then we actually force him in to go get his ball, and then he wants to go to the side, and we're trying to teach him no, go to the step. And it's a workout trying to force him to turn the other way when he is so determined to go to the side of the pool.
Yeah, we got them life vests, so that's good because it's got the little handle, and he knows it's like, come on, come get your jacket, and then he's much more. Feels much more secure, I think, when he's in the pool. But anyway, they're adjusting to the different temperature and different landscape in our backyard, and they had a lot of grass, but we've got turf, and they're doing just
That's one thing
fine.
A lot of people are worried about is my dog going to acclimate to the heat? Now, you guys moved in the summer.
So we threw them right into it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was hard because where we placed some of the turf, I kept trying to get them on the turf, and then they're like getting right back off, and it was like, oh my God, I had no idea it's so hot.
The turf is hot.
It does get so hot. So now we have it placed where it's shady at least. Well, one section is shady all times a day. So,
okay. Yeah.
So that's good.
And 2, if you're putting in turf, you can actually put in sprinklers or leave sprinklers if you're doing a bigger space. They just did a smaller area for it. But if maybe you have, they're used to a huge yard or something and want bigger grass. I left my sprinklers at my last house in when I took out the grass and put in the turf so that I could rinse it off with this. It's basically rinsing it off with the sprinklers. I would run the sprinklers every 2 or 3 days, and that would kind of help rinse it off and keep it clean. So And then we would do, you can do a simple green to kind of clean it off too.
Yeah, we just put that outdoor odor thing on the end of the hose. Yeah, and it helps quite a bit. So yeah, they've acclimated pretty well.
How have you guys done with the heat?
We've been fine.
We've adjusted.
Yeah.
I mean, we've sat out every night we've been
Right.
there for a month.
They've got a pool and they've sit in their beautiful backyard. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people are afraid of that, you know, moving here in the summer. But you can get better pricing if you buy during the summer. It's off season.
Yes.
You can typically get a deal. So I've mentioned that in a few of my videos. So if you can hack that summer, you know, the first one is usually the toughest. And then after that, it's fine. It's not as humid here.
Right.
We have a few weeks or a few days where there's a little bit of humidity because of the monsoons. But I think that the sunsets we have make it worth it.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And we notice a little bit of the humidity because, I mean, coming from Denver, it's like, it's so dry. I mean, it's painfully dry at times. And so we could notice that a little bit, but you get used to it pretty quickly. And it's actually been really nice, just like give our skin a break.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, one of the things that people will say about Vistancia or Trilogy at Vistancia is that it's a little bit further out. So some people would say, well, I kind of want to be near, you know, Goodyear or somewhere right off the freeway, so like Pebble Creek or somewhere that's a little bit closer in. So have you found that living in Vistancia is an inconvenience to you at all? Like just getting to, you know, a Target or a Home Depot or anything like that? Finn is now jumping because he sees something on the TV screen.
Finley.
He's a TV watcher.
That's
Finley. He's like, where'd they go?
TV is off. Okay.
So
I don't think it's an
funny.
inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean, we found that like for us here, everything is. I mean, we feel like it's the 15 minutes to the Four Corners with Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Fry's. Everything has been so close, and we're not far at all from the highway.
Right.
And if you're saying far from
minutes.
what, it's like no. I feel like Peoria, where we're located, is. Everything is new out here, and it's
all new,
so nice, and it's a little bit further than Buckeye is to the airport than we are, but we don't go to the airport that often, and quite honestly, the highways we feel like that we do jump on to get to the airport are a lot less crazy.
Yes, I agree.
They're calm. You know, it's not as hectic as some of the. I mean, everywhere we go, we seem like the 303 is.
The 10 definitely gets
busy.
congested, and especially from you know, the 101 or the 303 west. I mean, I've done videos on it where I just show like, this is what you get after 2 or 3 p.m. no matter what day it is. It's busy on the I-10.
Yeah, and we just jump on the 303 and we were at Costco within 20 minutes, and it's not a busy drive at all. It's like so easy. Yeah. And it's right off the highway as well. So
and you have options on Costco's because you have the one off the 303 in the Prasada area, but then you also have the one that's over by the Arrowhead Mall. So yeah, so you have 2 options. So that's
cool. A 20-minute
And
drive to the stores is nothing.
No, I mean it's
It's freeway.
And you have a grocery store in the community, and they're building the 5 North, so you have all of that.
Right.
But to get to all the other options, but some people don't understand that if you live right next to those stores and you have all those conveniences within 2 to 5 minutes of your house, now you're in a busier area and you don't have the pretty views and the pretty landscape and that feeling of getting away.
Right.
You're
and it's
12 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so
it feels like
it's so quiet here. Yes. So that's for sure.
And you can see the stars at night too, which is really cool out in this area too. When you're right in the midst of everything, you don't get to see that.
Right.
So awesome. Well, anything else you want to share, good or bad, about your move or the house or the area or anything like that?
We just keep waiting to see if we have to check out.
Yeah, we're like, when do we have to check out of the Airbnb?
Yeah. Well, that's a good feel.
Yeah,
it is.
It has been great.
Like,
we love it. And we've got family coming this weekend, and family coming, I think, scheduled about every month. So we're happy about that.
Yay. That's exciting. Well, thanks for doing this. I know this kind of helps people have an understanding of what it's like making that move and that transition. And like they said, like we're filming right now in September, and they started this process of thinking about it in January. And we have people that, they'll call and say, hey, we're coming out in the next week. And it's just like a thought. And then all of a sudden they're buying when they're coming out. or it can be a year, it can be 6 months, 3 months. So whatever it might be, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click that little bell. That way you're notified when we put up new videos. And thank you again for watching, and thank you again, guys, for sharing your experience. Appreciate it. Take care until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.